Gotta say, one of the better mixes that I found on YouTube.
And I really hope it doesn't get copyrighted because I hate when that happens.
It's just a detriment to you because you do all the post work.
Well, no, because in the YouTube video and of course on our clips that we do or even TikTok, I like to clip, like sometimes I want to clip the song in there and
That's
especially
right.
this one. And if it's copyrighted, I can't use it.
We're back. Another week.
I know, we're on a roll. Can you believe that?
Well, we're back in the swing of things. With all aspects of our life, including school. Well, no, not for you. You've kind of been doing like the just back to back to back to back, which is just honestly, it's insane to me. But good on you for because you're getting done a little earlier than everyone else. Technically,
you mean back to back? Like I didn't take a break.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
You've just kind of been steamrolling the entire thing. Which, hey, good for you. But I
No.
mean,
No.
I couldn't do that.
No. Good for me, meaning like, yeah, like, hey, you're an overachiever. I don't wish that upon anybody. I am tired. I need a break. Like
That's right.
a weekend just doesn't do it because I work on weekends usually. So I need a hiatus.
With the new year, I mean, this is kind of like sports central right now. I mean, January, the winter months, I mean, we have basketball, we have playoff football going on right now. The last stretch of football that we're going to get for a while until August. I mean, we're going to have the spring games happening around all college campuses, but hello everyone. Oh, Kale. Hello, Kale. How's it going? We're going to get into a lot tonight. We're going to talk a little NBA. Thunder doing some stuff, and we'll get into more. We didn't get to hit much last time, but Fur Mama 2 says hello. Hello, Fur Mama 2. Is that a first time chat?
It is a first time chat. Hello, Fur Mama 2.
I like that.
I like that. Welcome.
But yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. But we have a couple of tidbits to get to before we hit the sports sector. So I have a couple.
Okay.
I don't know do you have anything before we get going?
Normally you outdo me with like the pre.
Well, it was a pretty interesting week for me and weekend.
Right. And what's funny is you're always like, well, you have a social life and like you're more busy than I am.
That is true.
But I'm like, well, every time we come on the show, you have a way more interesting intro than I do.
I don't know. I'd say we're equally busy. But you
say that.
You always are able to stack that busyness with a social life. That's what I just can't comprehend. You're crazy.
It's that's my coping mechanism. That's what I'm trying to get at. All this school and work, and I don't have a break.
That's fair.
I have to somehow mix and have a balance, and so it has to be stacked.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do one, and then
Okay.
if you have one to share, because I'm saving my weekend one for last. So, if none of you caught, this episode is called the Syllabus, in honor of all the students that are going back to school for their spring semesters. Good luck to all of you out there. By the way, I'm with you on that one. But
Hate that word.
so I am in my last semester of grad school. Okay, so the class load is pretty light. But I also have to do like my quote unquote capstone, which is kind of like the big thing that gets you to graduate. It's great if you can pass all your classes, but in the end, if you're not able to really translate what you've learned to a capstone project, whether that be a thesis or an internship or a creative component
Or a simulation. Takes
that is
forever
true.
to do, by the way.
All right. Our mod's back tonight, Mr. Blake. He's pinning.
Wow.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Well, okay, pause for one moment. For Mama 2, we are so glad that you're here. You don't have to disclose who sent you here, or you can.
Or not.
Or we don't leave it. But welcome.
We're glad you're here.
It's a great first time episode. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
First for her.
First for you, a first episode for you. So welcome.
And also you might
you said
say
her. You said her. We don't know.
Fur. I said fur.
Oh.
First for fur. But you might see someone win $100 tonight. That's still going on. No one's been able to do it yet. This is what, installment 5 of the Hot Minute? Is it 5 or
It's
6?
5.
It's 5. So
5.
we'll see. The train keeps a rolling. No one's been able to beat it, but we'll see. Okay, back to my story.
Okay.
Syllabus. I had my syllabus quiz. Week 1. That's
still
usually
have those?
That's usually like, I had another assignment on top of it, but like the first quiz, we're kind of getting into that first week of class, you got to take a syllabus quiz.
Wait, that's so like middle school.
I mean, I know, but it's like 5 point. Like it doesn't matter.
No, but why? Like, oh, did you read the syllabus?
I mean, it's fine.
No.
I mean, I'm going to be reading the syllabus anyways.
Are you?
Yeah, because
I
that's where where the schedule is.
I never read the syllabus.
Yeah, well, I'm on top of my unlike you. So, but anyways, so I had to take my syllabus quiz, and there were 6 questions. And I'm going to be real honest with everyone here. I'm kind of checked out. I'm not going to lie.
Did you fail?
It's going to be tough for me. It's not going to be tough for me. It's going to be easy. But I'm just saying the want to right now is at an all-time low. But I made a 4 out of 6 on my syllabus quiz. But that's not the funny part, okay? So I took the syllabus quiz on Thursday, and I'm just like, really? Because one of the questions I actually contested to the teacher. Like I emailed her, and I was like, this is what I found in the syllabus. This is the question. I totally thought I'd get this right. And I guess I still misread it. But what I didn't know is that you could retake the quiz.
Oh, it's set up that way. I love those.
Yeah,
Those are my
so
fave.
it's due tonight at 11:59, and I'm really glad I double checked this morning before I headed over here because I wouldn't have known. And so I was like, all right, and I got 100.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
So go me. So that was my first story. I was just like, the checked out nature of me, but we're finishing strong. That's really what I wanted to get out of this. Okay, that was my first one. The next one, I'm going after my moderator for his behavior over the weekend. But anyways, go off.
I just don't. It's not. Maybe it is interesting. We'll see. So I have, to those of my friends or colleagues or whoever is watching, some people know that I have a phrase notes, a phrase or phrase/moments document in my notes. And this started, so I have 2 actually, because I have bad memory. So I have to document things to ensure that I remember, because a lot of things can't be video, right? Like it can't always.
Sad.
It's fine. It's fine. That's what we're dealt with. So a lot of things, like it's not video. You can't just have Snapchat memories and call it a day. Like sometimes you just forget to film it, right? I'm not always on my phone. So I have a notes page. And the first one came my sophomore year.
Keep going.
What are you doing? Oh. Is there a bug? Okay. The first one came sophomore year. I had a professor in college who was just a hoot, and some of the stuff that he said was it is incomprehensible. So I swear I have at least over 100 phrases from that man that I kept in my notes just so I can go back and be like, wow, he actually said that.
That's right.
So it turned into me keeping a phrase and moments page about like my life and stuff that I've said or like my family has said or friends have said, and I keep it because I want to remember. And it just got me, like, I added some stuff from like my weekend, I added some stuff from class, like, and it continues to build, and I'll go back and look like, oh my God, someone actually said that.
Have I made the phrases?
So this is where I'm going. This is why I wanted to talk about it, because I haven't looked at it since last night, and I'm like, has Drake said anything that has been on here?
Probably not.
So, like, for instance, I have, like, I'll throw my dad under the bus. My dad calls Snapchat Snatch Chat. That's in here. It's just
Pause.
No, it's just stuff that you just don't hear. Like, it's a once in a lifetime phrase you'll never hear again. Like, he calls the gym the gymnasium just to be funny. Like, who just, hey, we're going to go to the gymnasium.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably
Sure.
born before what, 1970?
Yeah, I have a friend, she refers, like, she'll say, like, hey, sweet chicken, like, stuff like that. You just don't, right? You just don't hear that stuff from just anybody. So I'm looking, I'm like, has he said anything?
I doubt it.
And I'm looking, and I'm like, I don't think so. So now,
Snatch Chat. I think I'm going to start using Snatch Chat.
well, there's some other things. I mean, there's some explicitives in here, so I can't.
Well, that is explicit, but keep going.
Right. just things like that. So I was looking to see if he had made the moments. Not yet. So now I'm like, here's where I'm going with
And
this.
part of that is because I just don't think she likes listening to me. If we're just being for real here. And also, I do talk quite a lot. So that's actually not surprising to me.
No, I think I just have very bad self-awareness. Anywho,
Mm-hmm.
now that I know that you haven't made this, here comes, I'm going to be more of an active listener to see if you
that's
say
good.
anything that's going to make the list, because it's ever growing. It is. And you know what? I might as well just say something that my professor said just to give you some context about how long. Here, ready?
The rain feels good on my bald head.
Nope. He said,
Nope.
he asked a student, do you live in a dumpster? I'll scroll down to like second half of the semester. I don't want to rust out. I want to burn out. Like, you just don't hear that on the regular basis. Anyway, now I am going to be listening for things that you say.
Okay.
But you can't make it up. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to just say something off the dome.
I'll just be me.
You be you.
Anyways, we do a show together, and I'm not on this phrase list. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about our moderator,
Blake.
Yeah.
Nice.
I live with Blake. Blake is also going to be our contestant tonight on the Hot
Yes,
Minute.
out of the top hat.
So Blake, be studying up on everything sports, because here in about 45 minutes, we'll get it going. But yeah, so it was the first week back in Stillwater, and so of course, naturally, being the first weekend, because usually last semester I didn't get to go out a lot with them on the weekends because I was doing high school football with Todd.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out. I'm just going to go out and have a good time with the friends, okay? So we went out, had a Topo Chico ranch water before I left the house. And now I think I should note this by saying I've never been drunk before in my life. Like, hand on the Bible, like, never, ever. And so Blake has taken it upon himself to basically try and sabotage that. And so when we went to jail, and listen, I this is all lighthearted, okay? Don't think I'm taking any of this like very seriously. It's just that's just one of the things that just I haven't crossed off my list yet. But anyway, so we go to JR's, we go to Murphy's. We were under the palms. Not really. It was freezing cold. We were inside. And I was like, "Hey Blake, give me a drink. I'll go get us a pool table." And he goes, okay. And so he comes back with another ranch water, and I take a drink of it, and I was like, did you give me a double? And he was like, yeah. I was like, you're the worst. You really are. You're preying on my downfall.
Oh, no.
I finished it, sadly, because I'm very, like, interested, you know? I'm just like, how many of these would it take, like, to get me, like, feeling something?
How many licks would it take?
Because I had already had a full Topo Chico ranch water back at the house, and so I was like, okay, I finished the double, and I was like, okay, still wasn't feeling anything, and they were like, yeah, if you probably had one more, you probably would have started feeling something, and I was like, because I'm surprised, because like I feel like I'd be a lightweight, right? Because I don't really drink that often.
Sure.
But yeah, so it was a disappointing night on that front, but it was a fun night. We went around. We went to Outlaws and Willie's, and you know, it was fun. It was packed. There was, I think, a concert happening at Tumbleweed too. So like there was just a rush of people that came in at like 11:30.
Oh.
Kale said it depends on how fast you drink it. Well, I finished the whole drink in about 10 minutes before we left for the bars, and then I finished the drink at Murphy's because you can't take drinks outside, like, obviously, but I don't know. It was fun. I don't know. That was my experience. I just thought I'd share it. So everyone, give Blake a hard time tonight if he doesn't win $100.
Well, he is the moderator, so he could
that is right. He could police you, actually. He could. Okay, that was it.
Nice. Okay, great.
Are we going to sports? It's dealer's choice. I really don't care. Do you want to do NFL? Do you want to do NBA?
Let's go in the order that I have it on here.
Well, Well, maybe we should do NFL.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Was that first? Do you
Yeah.
have? Oh, you have stuff.
Yeah, I got stuff. What
Yeah,
do you
that's right.
mean?
That's right. You always have stuff. You're prepared.
So, okay. NFL, it's shrinking down. We'll be at the Super Bowl
We are-
any time now.
We are in the divisional round.
We are.
people. It's been hit or miss. There's been some games, and then there have been some hit or miss. By the way, we will keep you updated on the scores that are happening right now. I mean, if we're gonna start, I guess we could start a little bit with the game that's happening now. Cowboys in San Francisco.
That
I mean, I think it's just most notable because I hate the Cowboys. I hate Cowboys fans.
why do you though? I'm
Well,
actually
listen,
intrigued.
Well, it's funny because my dad is a Cowboys fan, but
Oh.
it's never made sense to me, okay? Growing up 10 minutes outside of the University of Oklahoma, growing up an OU fan, it was ingrained in me to hate Texas, like the University of Texas
yeah,
at Austin,
of course.
right? And so naturally, this was back when A&M was still in the Big 12 too.
And we also hated Texas.
And so, any team from Texas, you just didn't like them. And so naturally, and this isn't because I watch college more. I didn't watch as much NFL growing up as a kid than I did college. I was always more in tune to the college scene. But so I was like, okay, well, if I'm not going to like any college team from Texas, I'm not going to like any pro team from Texas. Whether that be, the Astros for the MLB or the Rockets for the NBA. And I never understood it because my dad's such a huge Cowboys fan. Now, maybe I get it because he is from Albuquerque, so he didn't really latch on to that hate for Texas. And it was like the only games they got on when he was a kid.
Yeah, and Oklahoma doesn't have a pro team for football.
Well, right, but
so
still,
it's like you gotta resonate with someone.
Right. So, anyways, I hope the worst for all Cowboys fans tonight. And they are down 16-12 to the Brock Purdy-led 49ers. What a story. Brock Purdy could be the very first rookie quarterback to take a team to a Super Bowl. Do you know how wild that is ever in NFL history?
Well, first we were talking about how Jimmy Garoppolo was out.
Right.
then-
And it's funny because, the 49ers are one of the best all-around teams. There's not a soft spot in that team.
well,
They have
next to the Bengals.
They have a great receiving core. They have a great defense. If there was ever a situation in which you were a rookie quarterback and you were like, hey, we're going to throw you in the fire, bud, I would want to go to the 49ers just because their O-line's really good too, so you're going to get a lot of great protection, and Brock Purdy can move too. So even if there is like a busting coverage, he's still going to be able to get around, and he's been proving it. They've been red hot. I think they've won their last 5 or 6.
Well, when Christian McCaffrey went there, I feel like it was just
That also helps.
little puzzle pieces kind of coming together, and they're on a tear right now. And I know that Cowboys game when
You talking about the wild card
before
against the Bucks?
yes. So I had lost. I had made a bet on that game.
Really?
Yes.
Are you gambling?
No. No.
No.
No.
We actually had we had the governor on the franchise this week talking
really?
about sports gambling.
Oh,
And
interesting.
if it would be introduced soon.
Oh, okay.
He says it's in the works. We'll see if it happens. But
Well,
sorry, I went off.
no.
Go ahead.
I would fail miserably.
So Julie is a big sports gambler. We're gonna clip that. We got that. We got it in writing in verbiage. So that's good. Continue.
We'll clip it.
Continue.
Yeah. I will say I had Lionel Messi to win the whole thing, was right about that. I did have the Astros to win the whole thing, was right about that. When it comes to football, okay, I was right about Georgia. I had them picked way before the AP poll even came out.
Congrats. You picked literally the team who was picked to win at preseason.
And
Congrats.
Who did you pick, though?
I picked Ohio State.
Okay, so there we go.
Well, they were that close, okay?
When it comes to the NFL and specific games, I don't know what it is. I don't get the bag. I fumble it, okay? So here we go. Dak Prescott has thrown where's that
Are we
stat?
talking about tonight's game right now? Or are we talking
No,
about
this is just a compilation of information.
Oh, okay. Throw it
Still
on.
manages to throw interceptions against the best quarterback, okay,
Right.
in the league, beats him, still throwing interceptions.
Well, best quarterback in the league.
Tom Brady?
Like, he's the GOAT, but he wasn't the best quarterback in the league this year. Let's calm down.
Well, after
And this
that,
and this Bucks team was not great.
no,
And what's funny about it is
No.
that Cowboys fans were hyping up that game. And it's very funny because it's never the wild card game that they stumble in. It's always been the divisional round that they've
Right.
lost in. And it's just
So-
so funny because they're down right now. 19-12, they just kicked a field goal as well. So the
Oh,
Niners are up by a
well.
touchdown and there's 3 minutes left. Come on.
yeah, I have the Niners to win, so I really hope they pull through. So let's talk about that real quick. I just want to bring up, so also, this is what we have left. So if San Francisco wins, they're going to play the Eagles, who just demolished the Giants earlier. And then we'll get into the Bills and the Bengals.
Yeah,
and all
the
that.
Eagles game was that's who I want.
Really?
I'm not saying they're my pick.
Oh, yeah.
The Jalen Hurts story, like from him going to Oklahoma from Alabama, and then him going to Philadelphia, and then him like really being questioned, like is he QB1 basically? Like is this guy going to
I
be
remember
something?
that.
No, I mean, and it kind of carried into this year because sorry, woo. That happened last week too.
Yeah.
But I mean, they just didn't know, and they just ripped. I can't say that
They
word.
just
I
ripped
know,
their.
all through the season.
Yeah.
And then it's even funnier too because when Hurts went down in the last couple of weeks during the season, he came back the last week, I think. So the 2 weeks before that, he went down and they were without him, and then they lost. And then everyone, for whatever reason, was like, I wonder if this Eagles team is going to be able to do well in the playoffs. Because Hurts did okay in that final regular season game. But they were able to get that bye in the first round of the playoffs because Dallas lost to the Commanders. But anyways, but they're back in like their September, October form where they were just steamrolling everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the Giants are world beaters. I mean, I didn't think the Giants would win more than like 5 games this year. So good for the Giants getting where they're at. But if they had to play San Francisco, it might be a dogfight.
Well, we're going to see. We'll get into that game specifically, but
I know what game you want to get into.
We'll get into that. Basically, just to sum it up before we get into it, I picked the Bills to win the whole thing. I think a lot of people picked the Bills. They've been playing very well, and of course, the whole DeMar Hamlin situation kind of lit a fire under everybody. I was proven very wrong today, and I'm a little upset about it. But
Fur Mama 2 said, I live in Arizona by the stadium where the Super Bowl is going to be, and the preparation is already crazy. I think it's happening. Is it where the... Oh, God. I'm trying to remember I want to say SoFi, but that's not right. That's in L.A. Is it where the Cardinals play? Is that where they're playing
or
at?
is it
It's
the Raiders?
No, SoFi is where the Rams play.
No, is it where the Raiders play?
Raiders are in Oakland. No, they're in Vegas.
Are we
This
confusing
is
each
Arizona.
other?
This is the Cardinals.
Oh, jeez. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
I don't know what's
Just-
going on with you either.
My mental beep.
Oh, I don't even know why that went. We didn't even have the button up. What's going on? I wonder if they've been able to hear that.
Someone in chat, Giraffe, you're pretty reliable.
Yes,
Did you hear
Cardinals.
the explicitive button?
No, they did, because we could hear it. Okay, but anyways, do you want to talk about your boy? Is that the game we're going to talk about?
Let's talk about Dallas real quick since it's going on.
Oh, okay.
Well, first,
Keep going.
yeah, I need to pull this up. Where is he? We need to find him.
Dak has 2 interceptions. That's funny to me.
So that's the stat. I think he has not in the last 13 games. He has not thrown an interception, and I think it might be double.
Well, he did pretty well in the wild card game.
Yeah, let me look.
But I don't know if they end up pulling this off. The Cowboys. I don't see a world where, especially with Parsons going out, I just don't see a world where like the Cowboys defense can stop Philadelphia. I just don't.
God, where is that picture?
I'm surprised you didn't want to talk about Joey B and the Bengals.
We're getting into Joey B. Joey, listen, we try to keep it professional, but sometimes you just got to say what needs to be said. Listen, I picked
He looks like Kevin McAllister. Is that what you were going to say?
No, he looks
Home
like
Alone?
he dropped out of like a Greek god book, okay?
Oh, God. Continue.
I am. So now that the Bills lost, my new pick will now be the Bengals, and not because of Joe Shiesty.
No, you don't get another pick.
Yeah, I have to pick somebody to win. Now that I'm
No.
such a huge sports bettor.
I didn't pick a new team when Ohio State lost. You don't get to do that.
No, I make my own rules. I now pick the Bengals.
Well, you'll lose a lot of money that way making your
I'm
own
not betting
rules.
money. I'm betting more like, hey, you want me to buy you an Uber, or hey, you want dinner? I don't bet like a large amount of money.
Anyways,
this is
yeah.
what- oh, hold on.
Oh, what's happening?
So 1 second, let me get all this off of here. So Brett Maher,
Oh,
the
lovely.
the kicker for Dallas, and he's missed a ton of extra points and field goals. So if anybody knows, when you help your parents like lift stuff, and there's always that one sibling that does that thing.
That's right.
They barely help. Does Davis do that? Is he like that?
No, Davis doesn't even help. He's not around to help. He's just that lazy.
Well, this is him. He's barely helping the Cowboys at any point when it comes to kicking a field goal or an extra point.
Did you see Jerry Jones give him a pep talk before the game?
No.
Yeah, because
Really?
apparently he was missing like a couple like pregame.
Gosh.
Imagine the owner of the professional team that you play for coming down, and it's not your coach, it's not a coordinator, it's the owner. And
That
he's
would
giving
just
you-
diminish my confidence.
Hey man, can you like not suck complete all the time?
Yeah, can you not like put the franchise in jeopardy?
I don't understand what's been going on with him because he's been a pretty good kicker. He only missed like 4-point afters like in his whole career before last week. I don't know
it's
what's
supposed to be
happening.
your specialty. I mean, I can't talk. I've never kicked a field goal in my life, let alone an extra point.
Yeah, his first extra point got blocked, and I do believe he made a 25-yard field goal as well.
Oh, well, good.
So maybe he's back. He's back on the back.
Here's a segue. You mentioned Jerry. So this is Jerry Rice.
That's right.
He walked in to the game with this chain on. It's ginormous.
Well, when you're one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I totally agree with you, but it's just the fact of the matter.
Okay, you know what? If Joe Burrow would have walked in the locker room with that, you would be kissing his all night long. Okay. I don't need any
And?
Jerry Rice slander from you. All right.
No, what slander?
That man can bedazzle whatever he wants. All right.
Where did you get
He
that?
can
I
get a
was
diamond
slandering
crusted
him?
whatever he wants. All right.
Yeah, he can, and I think it's cool.
Those are real rubies.
yeah,
Those are real diamonds.
yeah.
Have you ever seen a real diamond? Have you ever seen a blood diamond?
I just don't think I care that much. What I like, where I'm going is that I think it's cool and it's a great piece of jewelry. So
Jewelry?
jewelry,
What is that?
it's like a slang term for jewelry.
Put that in your phrases.
I'll put it in if I'll put it in if I want to. Anywho, he walked in with that, kind of lit up the whole stadium. It's pretty.
That's great.
So
All right, we've used that button too much.
I know.
I'm permitting it. We're off.
now, let's get into.
Let's go to the Bengals Bills because this was a game that a lot of money was on for one team, and
it was a snowy day too.
it was. I enjoyed watching the entirety of this game. I woke up this morning at 11:30 because it was a long night last night, and I went and worked out, and I got back to the house. This game started at 2:00. I got back to the house at 2:00, right on the dot when this game started, and our house looked like there was no one in it. There were no lights on. Everyone was still sleeping. I was like, get up. The divisional round is happening. It's snowing on the ground. They got up. And we watched the game.
Well, good. And
It's family occasions at the Vitito household.
right.
And Stillwater.
It's interesting because the Bills are accustomed to these weather conditions, but the Bengals Cincinnati does get a lot of snow. I think they had a bunch of snow this past week. And just came and took the home.
I'm going to be honest. The smart money was on the Bengals. I think the line for this game was Bills by like 6. I mean, the Bengals were a 6-point dog, and the Bengals have traditionally, whether it be this year or last year, have always done better on the road. I don't understand what this line was, especially because the Bengals have been on a tear. I mean, they had a really, really slow start. Now, I think some of the line of thinking was they had 3 starting offensive linemen out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't think, I mean, if you want to go into recent history, their O-line was horrible last year, and they got to the Super Bowl. absolutely awful O-line. And so I don't know why, if that was the only determining factor in that line, but congrats if you had money on the Cincinnati Bengals like I did.
I really wish I was an actually good sports bettor because for one, I would have lost because I bet on the Bills. in my
Yeah, I
head.
just, the Bills, and I would have also gotten it too because the Bills are one of those teams that they play better as the game goes along. Like they play heroics a lot sometimes. They go for the punch very quick, and if they don't get it, they're playing catch up. And Cincinnati scored on their first 2 drives, and
Yeah, they were
they just never came back. So, congrats to the Bengals
On
winning
a
in the snow tonight.
on a more
today.
positive note, I guess for the Bills, Damar Hamlin actually was able to watch from one of the suites, so he was there in attendance. Obviously, just not on the field, which is heartbreaking, but he was there.
What was the last game today? I feel like. Can you go back to the? Can you take that off?
Mm-hmm.
What was the? Did we miss one? Chiefs, and the
Chiefs. Oh yeah, let's
and the
get it.
Jaguars. Oh, by the way, I would like to make a formal announcement. I am. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I am now putting my official cast vote into the team that I will be cheering for because I don't have an NFL team to cheer for. I am now a exclusive member of the Jacksonville Jaguars fan base.
Why?
I have put in my notice.
Why?
Well, for one, I don't want to pick a team that is already at the top because number one, that's bandwagoning, and that's
Oh.
not who I am.
Give me a break.
And number two, I love a good underdog story, and I feel like the Jaguars were dead in the water about halfway through the season, and they freaking did the impossible and came back to even get themselves in the playoffs.
Right.
And then they had one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen in my lifetime in the playoffs, coming back down from 27-0 against the Chargers. Now,
We talked about that game.
yeah, last week. And also, I'm a big fan of the owner Shadid Khan and his son Tony because Tony owns all AEW. We've talked about it last week.
Oh, the root beer.
Yep.
Hmm.
AEW, that root beer.
Oh wait, you said E?
Nope. You got it the first time. Why is it reconnecting me to chat? But anyway, so yes, Trevor Lawrence is my quarterback, and the Jacksonville Jaguars is my team. Is my team. Grammar.
Okay.
So yeah.
Nice. I'm happy for you.
So I will be campaigning soon to do the Jacksonville Jaguars Super Bowl parade of 2024.
Are you gonna go down there?
I'm planning it.
Oh.
I'll be in Jacksonville planning the streets we will be going down. So yeah,
Okay.
it'll be great.
Make sure you vlog it for me. Let's go back to the Bengals.
Well, you're not going to be invited, so I will vlog it for you.
Well, I figured so.
Okay, that's it, right? Was that it? Is that
Well-
all the NFL talk?
No, I've got some more stuff just to chat for a little bit.
Chat.
So I don't know if anybody saw this on social media. It was trending everywhere. It was even on TikTok. So it was a big deal. Joey B was warming up and he threw this just insane slow motion. I mean, it was in slow motion because they edited it that way. But it's just, we'll just watch again, play it back.
This is.
It's just cool.
What do you want me to say?
Nothing. I didn't ask you to say anything.
My job is to give analysis. And what do you want me to say about this? A
Nothing.
pregame throw where the man knows the camera is on him and he turns around.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well,
Okay.
he was on fire today, so
Yes.
good for him.
And so after the game, they were talking about how at the neutral site, or what? I get confused.
Okay, so let me
Neutral site
recap.
game.
Let me recap because I actually was wrong. Thank goodness for Blake. Blake knows something sometimes. The only way the AFC Championship game would be at a neutral site is if the Bills would have won.
Yes.
I
So-
thought it was 2 of the 3 of Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. And because the Chiefs had beat the Jags, I was like, okay, it doesn't matter who wins. It's going to be at a
Oh.
neutral site no matter what. But Blake informed me today that it was not going to be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. That's where
Yeah.
the location was going to be. If the Bills would have lost, and they did. So the Bengals will be traveling to Arrowhead in Kansas City to play the Chiefs.
Craziness.
You know, it's one of those games where I really just would love to go for the Chiefs, but at the same time, I just feel like the Bengals are one of those teams that everyone always counts out, and I don't know why. And they always play better on the road, but
Well, that's a segue a little bit. Well,
oh, what do you know about a segue?
Joey B was he was talking to Tracy Wolfson after the game, and they were talking about how, the neutral site game, what do you got to say about that? And he was like, better send those refunds. Yeah, a lot of people are a little upset about that. So speaking of Arrowhead Stadium, and we'll get into Chiefs real quick. So Patrick Mahomes went out. I think it was in the first. It was early. It was in the first quarter of a
Ooh!
terrible, scary. Wait, what's the score?
Oh, sorry. 49ers had the ball. It's 19-12 with a minute 24 left. It's 4th and 9 at the Dallas 43.
Wow, I want to bet. So
Oh,
hey, shout out to.
boy. Oh, boy.
Let's see if I'm getting any messages yet. Yep. All right, Julia might win her first bet in a while. Anywho, Patrick Mahomes went out.
Yeah, he went down a little bit.
Yeah, scary ankle injury. He was able to come back in.
And he was limping bad.
Yeah.
So, but they've already confirmed today that he will be playing next week, obviously. So I'm very intrigued to see how that heals throughout the week.
Yeah. And it was 10-7 early on, and it was loud at the game. And the ref's mic was still on.
Shut up.
Is this something that they're going to be able to hear?
Roughing the passer. Defense number 49. It's
So-
a 50.
Right back by where Henny got hit.
Everybody shut up.
Okay.
What are they saying?
Roughing
the ref-
passer. Defense
the ref-
number 49. It's a 50.
Right back by where Henny got hit.
Everybody shut up.
Okay.
Roughing the passer. Defense number
He goes,
What?
he didn't turn his mic off.
Everybody shut up.
And it was a roughing the passer call. And it's so loud in there.
What?
Everybody shut up. And then
Everybody shut up.
you in the booth, they pause. And they're like, that was the ref's mic. Golden.
That's hilarious.
I just had to throw that in there. But yeah, Sean, oh God, what's his name? I already forgot. Sean something. All right. Speaking of, we talked about a little bit about Trevor Lawrence. So this hit his first loss on a Saturday.
And his NFL. Wow. That's crazy.
He's been 34-1 since Clemson.
His years at Clemson.
Clemson time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my QB1.
Is it?
I'll tell you just like I've told everyone for all my life. Lifelong Jaguars fan here. We're winning it all next year.
Okay. Yeah, and I've been I guess growing up in Houston, I didn't really have an NFL team. I mean, I've always
You have the
rooted for-
Texans. You have probably one of the worst run professional sports teams in like history.
Yeah, and I agree.
And yeah,
with you.
God, we can lump the Rockets in with them too.
So I've been a Rockets fan and I've been a Texans fan. I mean, I don't sit here and like want the entire fan base to know that, but I have the Astros in my corner because, of course, World Series winners.
Cheaters.
Yeah, well, that's
Pop
fine.
off.
That's,
Cheaters, but
that's-
whatever.
That's fine. So we'll see. I'll be a Houston fan till I die, whether that be professional. College is fine. Hey, we'll get into college too. I've got something for that. Let's get into.
Well, we better get it going because we're already at 45 minutes.
That's fine. Let's get into Thunder. I'll let you kind of take this.
Just a quick. We can skip Thunder. We can just give an update on the game.
Here's the current
3rd and
standings.
1 at the Dallas 15. 33 seconds left. Dallas has the ball.
Holy-
I want to see the standings.
So
Okay, so
they're playing right now.
the
though.
reason I wanted to talk is because we kind of got to it a little bit, but I just wanted to talk about expectations this year versus what the hell is actually happening on the court for the Thunder.
When we first even got into our makeshift studio, we were a little skeptical on how the season was going to go, and of course, when Chet had went out, it was
That's right.
a little detrimental.
Well, I think the thing was, Chet's out, that we're gonna suck again, and I was
never
like,
believed
I
that,
was
though.
like, I don't get it. Like the pieces that this team has, and if we're going through another year of progression with a great developmental staff that the Thunder has, I don't see how anyone's gonna quote unquote take a step back. This team has gotten better across the board, especially as the season has gone through. There have been some individual guys that have struggled in the beginning of the season, like Josh Giddey with his shooting, Lou Dort with his shooting, Trey Mann with his shooting, okay? But as we've been ramping up this season, and like we're getting into the nitty-gritty right before the All-Star break, the Thunder have been killing it. Giddey is playing like he knows he's 6'8", a 6'8" point guard. He's throwing his body around. He was just settling for floaters early in the season. Now he's like getting places. He basically is like, wow, I'm 6'8". I can get wherever I want to on the court, and I don't have to do any crazy moves. I can just body you. So he's been playing on a completely different level, a completely different plane. He's been killing it lately. Shea has been Shea all season. I mean,
Yeah, it's one of the All-Star bids.
it's really exciting too because national media has started paying attention to Shea, and since he's associated with the Thunder, I mean, the Thunder got their first ever this season a nationally televised game against the Heat a couple weeks ago. And that wasn't even supposed to happen. That was a game that got rescheduled into the national slot. So I think it's awesome, not even just like as a team stance, but just being in that sort of prevalence again, being in that spotlight, and I think we're really close. There's a lot of money that's going off the books after next year. To the Thunder are giving out money to a lot of players that aren't even with the team anymore. Some of them aren't even playing basketball anymore, like Kyle Singler. They owe Kyle Singler like $600,000 after this year, because they paid him out over ever since he got out of the league. There is like $20 to $25 million going off the books next year to players that are not on the Thunder. So just by my thinking, I think there's a big move that's going to be made after this season for a potential All-Star or fringe All-Star to complete this quote-unquote rebuild, if you want to call it. Just to put things in perspective, the Thunder lost to the Kings a couple nights ago, and the Kings have been in a rebuild for like 20 years. The Thunder have been in a rebuild for 2. And I really think that next year is not a quote-unquote rebuild year. I think next year they're going to be trying to compete for something. So the way this is carried out and the time it's carried out is kind of wild. Even go back to the process 76ers when they made tanking sexy, when they were like, we're just going to purposefully do bad to get good draft picks. It took them longer than 2 years to get their crap together. I just think it's crazy. And it all starts with that Paul George trade that sent Paul George to the Clippers for all those assets. And that's why it's really good to be a Thunder fan right now, because if that big move that I'm thinking is going to happen does happen next year, and they want to overpay for someone, they could totally do that. Look what the Cavs did with Donovan Mitchell this year when they traded to him from the Jazz. They overpaid for him. Now he's performing like they didn't overpay for him. That's been great. He's been killing it in Cleveland. But if the Thunder want to pay for someone and overpay for someone like a center or another power forward, heck, I don't even know if they're going to go for a center. They may just say Chet's good enough to be a rim protector. They might go for another stretch 4. I'm just saying they can overpay if they want to. And who would say no with everything they have? I don't know. Sorry, I went on a tangent, but I'm just saying it's great right now. And they're actually playing the Nuggets right now. They're up by 6 in the third quarter. Jokic isn't playing tonight. They have a couple of people out. But, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, next year's going to be wild.
I know. I kind of wish they were playing Jokic because, I mean, he is
it'd be a good benchmark.
One of the best players in the NBA. But the Nuggets are 1 in the Western Conference. The Thunder are already down to 11.
Oh, I didn't even look at the standings. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see, at least for me. But Thunder are at 11. I mean, that could change.
The Kings are at 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm happy for them. Really, Sacramento and Oklahoma City are one of the same. Another small market team that if you're not prepared, like the Thunder were, to go into those rebuilding years, you might get stuck there for a while, like the Kings were. I mean, the Kings
look
last
where
time
they are now.
The last time the Kings were really good was early 2000s, the Peja Stojakovic, Jason Williams years. And it's taken them this year to get back into prevalence.
I mean, it's not really anything special or spectacular, but it just blows my mind that you see the Oklahoma City Thunder are ahead in the rankings in front of the Lakers.
And this is another one of the. I didn't think the Lakers were going to be good this year. I just like to note that, even with Anthony Davis. But besides that, it's also just look at the wins right now. Look at the wins. Look how much is separating 11 from 6.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm trying to look. It is a little 2.5 games. We haven't had this much parity in the Western Conference in a long time. And that's because for the longest time, the Western Conference was the dominant conference in the NBA. But with a couple of moves being made, there's a lot more closeness in the Western Conference because it's a lot more spread out. Obviously, there's a lot of separation at the top with the Nuggets and the Grizzlies.
Well, yeah.
But after that, I mean, we're kind of it's anyone's game.
It's up for grabs.
The East is better this year across the board than the West. And I couldn't even tell you the last time you could have said that. the East being the superior
Right.
conference, top to bottom. I'm not just talking about like who ends up winning the championship, but it'll be interesting to see. But I don't know. I struggle to pick anyone that isn't the Milwaukee Bucks right now because
Oh, I mean, Giannis is
they didn't
gonna take it all
advance
the
to the
way.
finals last year just because of Chris Middleton going down during that Boston. I mean, it took Boston 7 games to beat the Bucks without Chris Middleton. So, if everyone can stay healthy on the Bucks, I don't see any reason why the Bucks wouldn't win it again. But we'll see. Okay, that was my Thunder tangent. Thank you for listening. This has been the Drake talk.
Yeah.
Drake NBA Thunder talk. Okay,
Yes.
moving on.
Not much after that. I guess we can go in. One of the notable things from college basketball. We'll get more into that. You know, as the playoffs starts.
Oh, Cowboys lost. Let's go. Come on.
We both had
Thank you.
I thought we weren't using that button anymore.
Oh, well, special occasion. Okay.
We had 49ers winning.
College basketball. This was you. You were like, hey, I want to talk college basketball. And I said, okay.
I mean, we'll keep it. This is very brief. As I was mentioning, when March Madness kind of rolls around, that's when we'll kind of pick that back up to get into the nitty gritty.
That's right.
The notable game, let's talk about Houston and Temple. That happened. I was at brunch with the gals, and it was happening live. And wow. So for anybody that doesn't know, Houston has been number 1 in the AP top 25 poll for a while now. They had one loss, but they got served their second loss to the Temple Owls.
Who were barely over 500.
Barely. And what's crazy to me, and here's the stat. So Houston shot better than Temple overall from the 3 and from the field, but the game pretty much came down to free throws. Let me see what it was overall.
How about them Cowboys?
Well, Dak, you didn't do it, buddy. You couldn't do it.
All
All right. So Temple attempted 22 free throws and converted 20 of them. However, Houston attempted 21 and only made 11. And if you look at the score on the screen, the game came down to one final point, and Houston had the chance to either, well, they could have tied it if it was a foul. If it was a tip-in, I've got the video. In fact, we'll play right now.
Oh, okay. Kale said, don't talk about my Jayhawks getting blown out at home, please. Oh,
We won't talk about that.
Kale, I wasn't going to, but now that you brought it up, I will. I
So-
don't mind poo-pooing on the Jayhawks.
So it was an inbounds play. Last second, Houston gonna try the tip and no good. So Temple wins. So what's crazy to me is we'll go back to that little stat sheet. Or
I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Houston. I've never been. I'm talking about the team. I like the makeup of the team. I think they're a team that's built for, like, March Madness. I think they're built for longevity. But I have the same problem with Houston every year. Like, when I'm making my bracket, okay? So when you're making your bracket and I'm like, okay, how far is Houston going to go? I can't take them seriously when we're talking about, like, Final Four appearances or no, not Final Four, championship. Like, big picture, big pie stuff, okay? Because I think they have the same problem that Gonzaga does. And it's that their conference that they play in is very easy. Obviously, they just lost to Temple. But what I'm saying is Gonzaga, for example, is never ready come tournament time because all they've been doing is playing these obscure Pacific Northwestern teams that no one knows about. Like, is it St. Joseph's or St. John's? I can't remember. But anyways, it's the same problem. So while I do love Kelvin Sampson, just because he was the coach at OU, Kelvin Sampson's done a great job with Houston. I just don't know how far the old Cougs are going to be able to go come March. You know?
yeah.
Were you listening to any of that?
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm not on the phrase notes, people. It's because she doesn't listen to me. Imagine that.
So Houston's loss and Temple's win, it's the biggest upset over an AP number 1 team since Stephen F. Austin beat number 1 Duke as a 27-point underdog.
I remember that game.
2019. So it's pretty crazy. It's
Blake,
crazy.
Blake has a fun fact for us. Fun fact of the day. Since 2006, each champion has been ranked in the top 12 after the Thanksgiving tournament. Interesting.
Nice.
Will Houston be one of those? I don't know.
We don't know.
Let's get to just quickly, The Jayhawks, Kansas, lost to they lost a couple. They lost to Kansas State at Kansas State, which was a good game. Then they got absolutely lit up by TCU. I'm not serious about Kansas. I think they have a good shot of winning the Big 12. But when we're talking about like repeat championship from last year, this team isn't deep enough.
I think someone's going to.
They have one. They have one consistent scorer in Adams. There's two Adams, KJ and Jalen. Jalen, help me out, Blake. I can't remember. Anyways, Jalen Adams, or the person to be named, has been killing it. But I don't know. I'm not sold on DeJuan Harris as your point guard. That's gonna facilitate. He's a great Jalen Wilson. Sorry, KJ Adams, Jalen Wilson. But DeJuan Harris has not impressed me in the games I've seen him in. Grady Dick. Listen, I know he's going to be, probably a lottery pick.
He reminds me of Slim Jesus.
No.
Slim Jesus.
Yeah, I remember Slim Jesus, but he's not Slim. That is Noah Truitt. Noah Truitt is Slim Jesus.
No, like the phrase Slim Jesus. That's what he reminds me of.
There you go. Write it down.
That is a phrase that you've said. Slim Jesus. It's going in the books, people.
I just don't think Kansas is deep enough to make a deep run in the playoffs. Okay? Is that fair? I don't like DeJuan Harris as a point guard. Grady Dick hasn't shown me enough. And Jalen Wilson has been the only consistent scorer for them in like the past couple of games. But I don't know. They may turn the corner. I think they're still the favorites to win the Big 12. But they got to show me more. Okay. Is that all? Is that all? The call.
Yeah.
I know we kind of started. We kind of went a little early, so like I don't want the battery to run out.
That's okay. Let's get into the hot
minute. That's what we do last.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just push the second part of our video back.
We'll save it. I actually do want to figure out the sound so we could hear it and analyze it.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what time it is.
It is time for the Shoot Your Shot
Hot Minute. And we've kind of given it away already, who it is. It's our lovely moderator,
Blake.
Blake.
Welcome. You have the chance to win $100.
Yeah, tell people that are new, because we do have some new people in here. Tell them how you can get your name entered to win $100.
So, as Drake just said, if you are new or if you just forgot, if you want to win $100, you have the chance to participate in the Shoot Your Shot Hot Minute. In order to do that, though, you have to be following us and you
on Twitch.
Yes, on Twitch. And then you have to also refer someone to follow us on Twitch, and there needs to be a referral, whether that is a screenshot receipt or someone tells us, hey, so-and-so referred me to follow you. We need the receipt. And
then you gotta DM us, and you can see our socials down there. You don't you don't have to follow us. We're not asking for followers. That's just simply us saying, well, Julie is.
I am. I'm thirsty for followers. So please.
Okay. And okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Gold digger. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
And you
DM us, and we confirm it, and your name goes in a hat.
And then when we reach our hand into that long top hat, if we draw your name, you will have the chance to play the Shoot Your Shot Hot Minute, where it's a minute countdown, and you have to answer 10 sports-related questions. The last one may or may not be sports-related.
Correct.
10 sports-related questions, and you have to get them all right.
So if Fur Mama is still in here, she said that someone did recommend her.
Right. Fur Mama.
She didn't say who. Well, DM us if you have socials, or if you're or just say the name of the person if you know their Twitch name in the chat.
At their chat, or
because
at their
that
chat
person probably wants to win money.
Yeah, Fur Mama, if you're listening, please who referred you to follow us in the chat. You don't have to say their name. Just put their handle. And
okay.
Then we'll know who it is.
Let's see if our moderator can answer the call. Here we go.
I've been sitting up so far. I need to take a take a break.
Watch him not answer.
I'm here.
Hello, Blake. Hello, Mr. Mod. How are we doing tonight?
Oh, just peachy, you know.
I'm really glad that you're able to make it tonight. We missed you the past couple weeks. I know you're a busy man working, but you're here now, and that's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm here when I can.
Down a little.
Oh, sorry. I wanted him to hear the the phone ring.
Oh,
And
'cause
the phone's lower. Okay, we're going to get some levels, Blake. Can you tell us what you are doing right now?
I was playing Call of Duty.
That's
if I'm
right.
being honest.
That's right. You're being a good mod and not paying attention. I like that. That's why we hired you.
No,
Okay.
come on.
You know the
Video games and
rules.
podcasts?
You know the
Video
rules, sir. Okay? You have a minute. The timer will start after I finish the first question. You have 9 sports questions, the 10th one being, or may not be, a sports-related question. Knowing that we drew your name out of the hat, I kind of know your likenesses when it comes to sports. You're pretty everywhere. So I made sure that I tailored this for you, and because, we want people to win. But we'll see.
Well,
this is the 5th time. Will it be the first to win, though? We will see.
We'll
Do you have the
see.
timer ready?
all right.
Oh,
Blake.
by the way, Blake, you can say pass. I can't reiterate this enough. If you don't get it right, you can say pass, and you can still answer as many times as you want for each question.
Heard. Cool.
Okay, got
and
it.
I will have the timer on the screen if you're watching. But it's not in real time, is it?
It's a little delayed, but I got a
It's-
good mental.
Yeah,
clock.
but it's not for him to see. It's just for it to be documented that we started on
that's right.
time and
That's
we
right.
ended.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the time will begin after the first question. Here we go. Question 1. Who was first in men's basketball standings in the Big 12?
Iowa State.
Incorrect.
Can't say it.
Correct. Which NFL quarterback could be the only rookie QB to lead his team to a Super Bowl in NFL
Purdy.
history? Yes. Who's first in the Premier League standings?
Arsenal.
Yes. How many teams are there in the Premier League?
20.
Yes. Who was formerly known as Cassius Clay?
Muhammad Ali.
Yes. Who was formerly known as Lou Alcindor?
30 seconds.
Pass.
Which NFL team won the first 2 Super Bowls in 1967 and 1968?
Packers.
Yes. Who is number 1 right now in the men's college basketball rankings today?
Houston.
Yes. Who's last in the Premier League rankings?
Everton.
No.
Southampton.
Yes. No, question 10. What is the episode of this SYS podcast episode called?
Oh, I just saw it.
A minute.
Oh,
Sorry. Apologies.
no. So close.
Holy cow! 2 questions.
That was, it
What
was
was the
the episode.
like fourth question? No, the fourth.
Okay,
one
so
I
the
didn't
syllabus is the name of this episode, and Lou Alcindor changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
get. Oh man.
Okay, so
Holy
this is a great
cow.
example. Everyone listening right now, everyone and complaining that 10 questions is not enough for a minute. Blake literally could have done it. He was 2 questions away, and one of them was just a paying attention question, okay? So I don't want to hear from anyone. I don't want to hear from a single soul.
Yeah. Stop.
Oh, okay. Well, now we've really just used it too much. That's okay, though. Blake, congratulations. You made it the furthest. And now that you know, I mean, you should just go tell all your friends about us. I mean, you're right there. I mean, I would.
If you refer us again, you'll get drawn in the hat again. And I mean, you can refer us as many times, and
That's right.
your name keeps going into the long top hat.
That's right.
So
Okay, but thank you, Blake, for playing. I appreciate you.
Of course.
All right.
Of course.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
That's right.
love
That's
you.
right.
Bye.
I'm a big teddy bear at the end of the day, people. That's all you need to know. Love everyone.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, Kennedy hasn't gotten the MO yet.
No. We'll run into somebody that won't say it back. They'll be like, "Bye."
Well, listen, these are my friends. Okay, I don't know what your little group of gals does.
Not watch.
You're not as tight knit as the boys.
Well,
right?
we need breaks. Everyone needs breaks.
Interesting philosophy. That was fun. That was fun. This was a good one. Got to talk a little. The Cowboys lost. Let's take a look at the Thunderbolt.
Holy cow!
Yeah, guys. I mean, you just saw it in real time. You can win $100. And
You
by
can.
the way, for those of you who may have not tuned in the past couple weeks, that winning prize pool goes up by $100 every time someone wins.
Yeah.
It'll go to 200 after someone wins 100, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then $1,000. $1,000. We go from 5 to 1K. Don't look at me like that. I have it covered. Don't worry.
I haven't seen that much money in decades.
Ever.
For me. Like, no, I mean, I've had that much money before, but like just in the past couple of months.
So, yeah, 2 things. 1, go tell your friends about us. 2, come win some money with us. 3, after winning, come win some more money with us.
Yeah, and we
Love you too, Kale.
we love you.
We love you.
We love you. Yeah, go tell. I don't think Fur Mama ever referred. Well, guess what? Maybe he, she, or whatever.
Wait, what?
We'll check back
What
in.
happened?
I said Fur Mama never referred who.
Yeah,
Fur Mama never referred.
that's
who.
all right. That's all right. Maybe the
Figure it out.
person that's watching now
Right.
is the one that did the referral, so we'll see. But just want to give you the quick Thunder score before we get out of here. Thunder currently leading in the fourth, 94-87 against the Nugs without Jokic, but still a good
Jokic
win nonetheless.
Jokic is something else.
I mean, we're out of the sports talk. I just want a passing note.
Right.
If there was ever a time for the Nuggets to like make a run, because I mean they've had pretty much the same makeup of a team. I mean it's pretty much been the same core of guys for a bit. I mean I know they added Aaron Gordon a couple seasons ago, but I mean with so much parity happening in the West, this will be the year for them to make a run
I'm excited.
because they have underperformed severely in the playoffs. That has been their one knock. I mean they always do well in the regular season, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that's it. Would you like to end us?
Sure. I'm Julia. That's Drake. And of course, the Shoot Your Shot podcast, 8 p.m. on Twitch, mostly every Sundays unless there's a complication. Tell your friends about us. We also have a TikTok. I post our clips on Instagram at the handles down below. The TikTok is where it's at, though. We've got the most followers on there because TikTok's great. So go follow us. It's fun. It's edited. It's nice. Anywho, we'll be back next Sunday, preparing to, hopefully. So we'll see you then.
Yeah, we're in full stride, aren't we?
Please,
Hold on.
please pray for our endeavors in the school department.
Yeah, everyone that is in their first week of school, back to school, maybe you're 3 years old and this is your first year going to school. The SYS
3K.
podcast people are with you in your hearts, in your soul. Oh God. Okay, yeah. That's Julia. I'm Drake. This has been the SYS podcast. We will see you guys next week.